Okay.
Madan sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good
Greetings
evening.
from Sexual Health Committee and STI Committee of FOGSI. Myself, Dr. Madan Kamble, National Coordinator of this committee. Welcome you all on this platform today for this unique and some different event organized by the committee first time. This is on International Yoga Day celebration. And today's theme of the webinar is sexual health and yoga. How yoga is related to our sexual health. And I welcome for this event the blessings from FOGSI office bearers, Dr. Jaideep Tank sir, who is President FOGSI, Madhuri Patel ma'am, the Secretary General, Ajay Mane sir, who is Vice President in charge, and Chairperson, Dr. Apurba. I welcome our chief guest, today's chief guest, esteemed speaker, and the famous personality, godfather of sexology, Dr. Prakash Kothari sir, and today's guest of honor, Dr. Ajay Mane sir, Girija Wagh madam, Nirja Bhatla madam, Charmila Ayavo madam, and Dr. Janmejay Mahapatra sir, was vice presidents of FOGSI, and our expert, Dr. Neeraj sir. I also welcome my co-moderator, Dr. Monisha, and today's main speaker, Dr. Sargam madam. I welcome all, and I appeal Dr. Apurba to take over for the welcome address. Over to you.
Good evening and pranam to all of you. Greetings from Sexual Health and STI Committee FOGSI. Now, today is really a great day for all of us because today we are celebrating International Yoga Day. My dear friends, India has given world a lots and lots of things, and one of them is yoga. Yoga actually affect or has a positive impact each and every aspect of life, each and every aspect of the health of life, and the sexual health is not an exception with that. So, with these thoughts in our mind, our committee, the Sexual Medicine Committee or Sexual Health and STI Committee, we started, we are planning to celebrate the International Yoga Day so that to bring and tell you about how the yoga is important for the sexual life. So, my dear friend, it's a sincere effort from all of us. So, as we all know, whenever there is something new, something auspicious, we always get blessings from our seniors. And today is really a big day for our committee because we have a very, very special guest today with us as a chief guest. Guest who we consider as a god of sexual medicine in India. Dr. Padmashree, Dr. Prakash Kothari, sir. Sir doesn't need any introduction. Sir has started a full-fledged department of sexual medicine in KIM Hospital at that time when it was considered, bhaiya, talking about the sexual medicine is like a crime in this country. So, sir, he doesn't need any introduction. Sir actually redefined and rediscovered the Kama Sutra. Sir redefined that what is orgasm and what not. Due to the extreme and wonderful contribution of Prakash Kothari sir towards to the sexual medicine, the government of India conferred with him the fourth highest civilian award, the Padmashree. Sir was the man of the person awarded by World Sexual Association and whatnot. Sir, whole hour program and 2 hour really less to what introduce about yourself. So thank you so much. It really a big day for us that you accept our invitation to be the chief guest of for today. So thank you so much, sir, and over to you, sir, for your kind blessing and for insight of what is the sexual medicine, what is the importance of you. Over to Prakash,
Thank
sir.
you.
Kothari sir
Good
is
evening.
like modern Vatsayan for all of us.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Good evening, esteemed colleagues. Many thanks for your kind introduction and very generous too. and I wish you a very happy International Yoga Day. You see, the topic yoga and sex is interesting because they both have great similarities. Say, for example, both stimulate the release of the hormones. That is the release of endorphins, the release of serotonin, the release of oxytocin. All these hormones reduces stress, as we all know, and promotes happiness. Now, we all know that brain and nerves stimulate, heart and blood vessels circulate, hormones regulate, local tissues and muscles facilitates. Any garbage anywhere can disturb the functioning, sexual functioning. Yoga can partly assist and enhance the physical strength, of course, the mental strength, and also the flexibility. You see, all these are very essential for good sexual health. You see, I must admit that I have never used yoga as a mainstream in sex therapy, but I have often used it as an adjunct or for sexual well-being. You see, in KM Hospital for diagnosis of sexual disorder, we used to use a simple model. In men, we would ask 4 questions, and the female also will ask 4 questions. And we come to the diagnosis very, very precisely. This model has been tried and tested in more than 50,000 patients only at KM Hospital. We'll ask desire, erection, penetration, and orgasm in men, and desire, lubrication, penetration, and orgasm in female. You'll be surprised to know that yoga helps and can assist in almost all 4 parameters. Say, in case of men, it can regulate the desire. It can help in improving the quality of erection. Also, it can help in sustaining the erection so that one can have a proper penetration. And also in the field of orgasm. In orgasm, if it's early, it can be helpful. If it's delayed, it can be helpful. It's impaired, it can be helpful. And if it's absent, it can be helpful there too. Needless to say that orgasm lies between the 2 ears, and ejaculation and vaginal contractions lie between the 2 legs. Similarly, in female, it can regulate the desire, improve the lubrication, also train the muscles so that the penetration could be proper, simple, and painless. And lastly, just like men, it can help achieve orgasm properly. Not only that, if it's early, it can be helpful there. If the orgasm is delayed, yoga can be of help. If it's impaired, less pleasure, it can help there. And even if it's absent, it could play a major role in that. Well, in my clinical practice, I have been able to, I can tell you that there are 2 things, 2 yogic practices, which have been of great help to me. And I have used it often. One is pranayama, that is breath work, and second is shavasana. I know there are plenty of yoga experts, but pranayama, if done properly, can be of immense help in majority of the problems. If not done properly, it can be of great harm also. Well, in pranayama, there are 3 things which are very important. One is breathing in. Second is to hold. That is retention of breath. And the third is breathing out. One must observe a ratio. That is breathing in, if it is 1, holding is 4, and breathing out is 2. That means suppose if one is taking deep breath for 5 seconds, he must hold for 20 seconds and breathe out for 10 seconds. No, deep breathing itself can be of great help. It's a powerful tool in reducing the anxiety and moreover pulmonary health. Second, retaining or retention or holding of the breath is very, very important because it leads to better oxygenation. You see, प्राणायाम का मतलब ये होता है कि प्राण का आयाम, तो आयाम करना जरूरी है, होल्ड करना जरूरी, so that more blood flows to the brain, which helps in tranquilizing the mind, and more blood flows through the private parts also, so which takes care of the health of the private parts. You see, oxygen is essentially very important because oxygen plus food is energy. You see, if pranayam, please remember, is incomplete without the bandhas or locks. Initially, when you are taking deep breath, one has to do a mool bandh, what is known as root lock. Mane, you try to contract the anal sphincter and continue it till the end. What benefits you achieve? Number one, it stimulates the pelvic nerves. You contract the pelvic floor muscles, which are very powerful and useful everywhere. Second, it stimulates the endocrine system. Third, it stimulates also the excretory system, so it helps even in chronic constipation. This is Mool one. The next is Jalandhar one, when you are holding the breath. Jalandhar one means you lock your chin with your chest. This helps regulating the flow of energy and also for the thyroid health. And the last one is Udyan Bandh, especially when you are breathing out. You pull your abdomen in and up. By doing this, you are enhancing the digestive fire, which promotes digestion and later on assimilation. And moreover, when you are taking it up and in, it helps also in the support of the spine. Well, one change which I have made, normally when do these bandhas and pranayam, people advocate Padmasana. I prefer Vajrasana because in that particular asana, there is increased flow of blood in the private parts, which will help the health of the private part, increase flow of blood, and increase longevity also. Helps digestion as well. In Shavasana, we all know what Shavasana is. It helps in tranquilizing the mind. It inhibits the sympathetic nervous system and stimulates the parasympathetic. Hence, it is helpful in blood pressure control, in stress, in anxiety, and other situations. Well, I must tell you, my friends, one thing which is very, very important, that everyone will tell you indications of yoga, but don't remember even the contraindication. You see, when we do pranayam, it's breathing in, which is known as purak, hold, retention. It is known as kumbhak. And when you breathe out, it is known as rechak. So kumbhak or retention, please remember, is contraindicated if a woman is menstruating or if she's pregnant, or if anybody is having some heart problems or uncontrolled hypertension. Otherwise, friends, yoga by and large is a helpful tool. Yoga offers a good mental tranquility, leads to better mechanism of blood flow, and assists in the interplay of hormones, which all these three things are absolutely important and essential for a good sexual health. Friends, I must tell you that much has been omitted in this talk that might have been included, and it is fervently hoped that nothing has been included which ought to have been omitted. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. You really give the insight, and I think A to Z of what is the importance and what is everything about the yoga and the sexual life and the sexual health, sir. So thank you so much, sir, that in your busy
Thank
schedule you
My
came
pleasure.
here and gave the overview of this topic. Thank you so much, sir, for joining, sir. Thank you, sir. So, after the wonderful brief introduction by our chief guest, Padmashree, Dr. Prakash Kothari, sir, I would like to invite Dr. Madan Kamble, sir, to please introduce our all the guests of honor for today. Ajay, sir, respected Neerja ma'am, and Charmila ma'am. Yeah, Madan, sir.
Yeah. We are so lucky to have the esteemed dignitaries for as a guest of honor for today's. First of all, I welcome Dr. Ajay Mane, sir. He is the very dearest person of ours all, and FOGSI and AMOGS also. And he is the vice president of from West Zone. I welcome you, sir, and
Thank you. Thank
need
you,
your
Madan bhai.
blessings. Yes.
Thank you very much. Our respected Prakash Kothari, sir, pranam to you. And when sir comes, everybody has to shut their mouth. And whatever he has expressed, we need to say only mama for them. As sir said, yoga and bhog are the two parts of one coin. So it is completely fulfilled. So it was a very great talk by Prakash sir. In short, he has expressed everything. And I don't think Sargam is yet to explain anything. Everything has been taught by the boss, Prakash Kothari sir. As Neeraj bhai said, he is not less than what's signed for all of us. Sir, pranam to you from all of us. And thank you for sparing time for our program. Being in charge VP of this webinar, and my younger brother Apurba's side, I convey my gratitude to you and all the co-VPs, Charmila, Neerja, and I think Janmejay could not join and Girja could not join. So thank you very much for coming and joining the webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you so
sparing
much, sir,
valuable time.
for coming. And sir is also the past chairperson of this committee, and all the effort of the past chairpersons like Ajay Mane sir, this committee, they stand in this position that we are able to do such a webinar. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
I welcome our guest of honor, Vice President, Dr. Neerja Vatla, ma'am. I request ma'am to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Dr. Madan, and thank you so much to the organizers of today's program, Dr. Apurba, and ably assisted by our past chairperson, Dr. Neeraj. It's always a pleasure to be here at this committee's meetings, superbly steered by Dr. Ajay Mane, and good to see dear Charmila as well, and the wonderful audience who are joining as we can see. Salam to Dr. Prakash Kothari, sir. What a wonderful opening, sir. It has been very illuminating, and you have really encouraged me to go and read more about this subject. But I think Sargam will also probably enlighten us quite a bit. So it is really quite unusual, all the things we are hearing today, because we hear about the benefits of yoga all the time. That is no secret. And we are really happy that this International Yoga Day has become such a wonderful and well celebrated entity across the globe. A healthy mind and a healthy body is well known to everyone. And who needs a healthy mind and a healthy body more than the obstetrician gynecologist who have to be thinking on their feet 24 hours of the day? So it is very important for all of us to practice. But completely, I endorse that Dr. Kothari has really led the way in bringing forward these less talked about elements. And this is something which is, in fact, even WHO has said that we have to train all our students to be able to talk about sexuality without judgment, without inhibition, without any problem. So this is something which is so required, and I think it is gaining acceptance and being somehow more acceptable also. but to know that there are aspects particularly that we can, and very importantly what said by Dr. Kothari about the contraindications, which people don't know so well, and then it gets a bad name. Oh, you will do pranayam, your blood pressure will go out of control. So, there are suddenly almost like myths that get propagated because of injudicious practice. So I'm really happy that we've got a focused session today to hear about yoga in a lesser known aspect and to broaden our horizons. So thank you very much for organizing it. Congratulations to you, and thank you for inviting me as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Neerja ma'am. And ma'am is at present in USA, and still she is always there. Whenever I call ma'am, ma'am is there, "Haan, theek hai, I am always there." So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining
Apurba
and
is
for
an
giving your blessings.
inspiration. I said now you are doing FOGSI Jodo Yatra, like Bharat Jodo hota hai, ek FOGSI
Thank
Jodo
you so
Yatra
much,
he is.
ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you, madam. I welcome our next guest of honor, dear Dr. Charmila ma'am, who is the Vice President FOGSI. I welcome ma'am on this auspicious occasion of International Yoga Day for this committee, and we need your blessings, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamble. And it is really a unique opportunity. As Dr. Neerja was saying, not everybody talks about it openly. And we have read Dr. Kothari's books. We have heard him, but to hear him in person is something great. And I would like to thank Apurba for the opportunity. And when we heard sir, like as Neerja was saying, it was like unheard horizons. We have never talked about it. We just talk about reproductive health in the sense that when she becomes pregnant, everything is fine. But we never talk about her sexuality or his sexuality, and bringing it out open. And with such great chairpersons who are doing great work for this committee. And I always tell Apurba, it is not an easy committee to work with because you don't get so much of a subject to talk on, and many people may not like to listen, but you brought it to the forefront. And that has started with Ajay Mane, and Dr. Neeraj also did a great job when he was committee chair, and you're continuing the work. And I'm honored to be here along with my VPs, Dr. Ajay and Dr. Neerja. And it was an honor to listen to Dr. Kothari talk. And we are eager to listen to Sargam. And Sargam herself is a great influencer. I know she will give great inputs on this very, very important topic of sexual health and yoga. Thank you so much for inviting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And really, again, about Charmila ma'am, always there. Ma'am is right now in Kolkata, in between the program. Ma'am told, yeah, I will definitely come. So thank you so much, ma'am, that you
I'll have to
joined.
go
And
now.
your blessings.
Apologize to Jaydeep now. I'm going late.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I welcome our dear Dr. Neeraj sir, who is always the strong force behind this committee and us. Thank you, sir, for coming and always supporting. And I welcome my co-moderator, Dr. Monisha also. And I request...
Madan, I want to say...
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Yeah. So I think our Prime Minister Modi sir has started this yoga to bring it in the main limelight. And I think it is a 10-year back because of his effort, the International Yoga Day was started. And whenever we talk about the yoga, we talk about everything, but we hardly talk about the sexual health and what are the benefits related to yoga. So that thought come into my mind, and I told Apurba we should do this activity on International Yoga Day, so that our committee, because this is our committee main aim is to remove the taboo and to encourage people to talk openly about the sex. So this was the great opportunity on the yoga day to talk about the yoga and how it is beneficial in the sexual health. So thank you, Apurva, for agreeing to this suggestion and doing this webinar.
Thank you, sir. Now we will start the session. Over to you, Dr. Monisha. Yeah.
Good evening.
Thank you once again.
Yes, thank you so much, Madan sir. Good evening, everyone. Once again to this wonderful session that we are having on this occasion, amazing occasion of International Yoga Day. And we have with us Sargam ma'am with us, and she's going to talk all about such an important topic, and we cannot wait to hear it. And this is where I am going to introduce ma'am here. Ma'am is a TED Talk speaker, as we all know. She's a consulting obstetrician, gynecologist, and infertility expert hailing from Mumbai. Is a founder director of the SHSTI Hospital, Mumbai, founder director of the Devdan Charitable Foundation, has been the committee of the 2024 to 26, has been a life member of FOGSI since 18 and life member of ISA since 22. Ma'am has been immensely into the awareness for the yoga and the sexual health itself. We cannot wait to hear you, ma'am. The dais is all yours. Please, if it's okay, please go ahead. We cannot wait to listen to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you so much, Manisha, for the kind appreciation. Before I begin the talk, I would like to thank our chief guest, Prakash Kothari, sir, because I've attended his lectures and his lectures are informative and hilarious as well. So I'm really thankful to him. I'm thankful to Dr. Ajay Mane, Dr. Apurba Dutta, Dr. Neeraj Jadhav, especially for considering me for this important topic. Also thankful to Dr. Girija Wag, Neeraj Bhatla ma'am, Dr. Sharmila and Dr. Moha Patra, along with everybody else. And huge thanks to Monisha for your kind appreciation while introducing me. So let's just start ahead. I would request Dr. Neeraj Jadhav to please share the screen if possible. Sorry, because of some technical glitch, he would be sharing the screen for me. So perfect. I'm able to see this. I'll just have to ask you to change next probably, or can we just keep aside Dr. Neeraj? If I okay, I'll just say next slide, please. So as we have already heard Dr. Kothari say the similarities between yoga and sex, a lot of them are similar, and we would just be talking about how does yoga help in getting easier, better, deeper orgasms, and how does yoga help in boosting sexual health of any organism. We're talking about humans here. Yoga, which can, it is a form of exercise which can greatly improve the sexual performance and function, which is extremely important to make sex more satisfying for a person and their partners. Now, we realize that sexual intimacy is an integral part of a healthy, happy relationship and a good health as well. That is precisely the reason why there are so many doctors, so many of us talking about sexual health, giving people awareness about sexual health, because we realize that if not us, then who else would be doing the needful. So today, on the occasion of International Yoga Day, World Yoga Day, we're going to talk about how can we integrate yoga into improving the sexual health of couples around. So sex and yoga, especially hot yoga and power yoga, they have a lot in common. Both of them can make us sweat. So we realize that there are things like hot yoga where the temperature is raised to really high, around 56, 58, and even 60 degrees. Some people tolerate it even more than that, depending on your endurance and the grading in which you've been doing yoga for a long period of time. That is known as hot yoga. That makes you sweat a lot. Power yoga is a high intensity yoga, which again makes us sweat a lot. Unlike the pranayam or the other asanas that I'm going to talk about in the next slides. So sex and yoga, as we would say, they make us sweat if done the right way, with a lot of intensity and passion. The more, the better. And they can both lead to better health, increased energy. As Sir said already, it releases a lot of happy hormones, endorphins, improved moods, so on and so forth, and the list is endless. Apart from the similarities, though, yoga can also directly influence sex. In fact, there are some type of asanas that we can do to give a boost to one's sex life with our partner. Next slide, please. The benefits of yoga. Now, there are so many benefits of yoga, but when we talk about integrating yoga into improving the sexual health of an individual, depending on the exact yoga asana that is used, not to mention the anatomy of the person using it, everybody has a different strength, everybody has a different endurance, everybody has different physical abilities, capabilities, disabilities, and health as well. It is actually possible for yoga to allow one to carry on with sex for a longer time without premature ejaculation. As we say that when we do deep breathing, when we do pranayam, there are certain pelvic muscles that are used during different yoga asanas. They really help with proper blood supply to the muscles and also help in taking care of premature ejaculation. Plus, yoga, again, as we said, it triggers a release of feel-good hormones and endorphins. So, in addition to boosting one's mood, it can also heighten libido, making the other person feel more interested in sex. There are times when people ask us, should we do it before sex? Is it beneficial or no? So, we're going to talk about it in the next slides to come. So, can we have the next slide, please? The benefits of yoga, we are just typically going to talk about the 7 main benefits which are associated with yoga to improve sex. Now, if you see the pictures around, please feel free to try them out with your partners. Trust me, it'll just make sure when you do things together, see, whether you believe it or not, when you work out together, I'm not talking about work together, because working together can create a lot of clashes among couples. But when you work out together, since both of you are doing something that is releasing happy hormones, the bond is seen to strengthen. So couples who work out together, who play together, they sleep together often. So more specifically, we're going to talk about the 7 benefits with yoga that can help improve sex. First of all, having better overall health. Now, both sex and yoga have got amazing positive effects on the body. Combined, they are a power duo. Whether you believe it or not, yoga can help in decreasing blood pressure, so as sex. For instance, it's like a common benefit of the physical activity. When I say physical activity, I mean physical activity which is yoga and physical activity which is a sexual contact. Yoga can also decrease the risk of health issues like stroke, heart disease, cancer, asthma, osteoarthritis. So all these things are really beneficial. They also help in building strength and stamina. Apart from considering all the heart disease and cancer and stroke, if we think that probably, Sargam, this is going to happen to people probably more likely to happen in the later stages of life, what I want to emphasize here is it actually helps to increase the strength and stamina. Trust me when I say this. If you don't believe that yoga can help you increase your strength and stamina, just try doing one Surya Namaskar. And that's what I integrate in myself if I'm falling short of time. The only thing that I do is 108 Surya Namaskar. One Surya Namaskar is made of 12 asanas, and it's a complete workout in itself. I always tell people, if you can't do any workout, if you can't afford a gym, if you don't know any workout, you can't hire a trainer, you're bored of looking into YouTube and trying all the other exercises, Surya Namaskar is the only workout that can make your cardio work, that can make your lungs work, that can take care of your heart, that can take care of your muscles and even happy hormones. So this is just a general suggestion and a very serious one, that please, in case if you're not indulging in any physical activity, since we are gynecologists, we are in a profession which keeps us really occupied, with everything else except for us, please start doing Surya Namaskar. And trust me when I say this, if I can do 108 Surya Namaskars at a go, if my 70-year-old mother can do 30 Surya Namaskars at a go, you can all of us can do it. It's just a matter of willpower. Start with one and just go ahead, and you're going to really realize the benefit of it in your sexual health, in your normal health as well. So this is what I even tell my patients to do it, who come to me that, ma'am, and I have honestly practically seen a lot of benefits when I tell my infertility patients, because they're going on for such a long time that sex becomes really mechanical and a task. And I'm sure each one of us has experienced times when our patients say, oh God, we'll have to have intercourse for like 5 days constantly. This is how they come up, considering the stress that is going around. So when people indulge into yoga, exercising together, couple yoga, it really releases them of a lot of stress. It gets them closer. It helps in improving the lung capacity. It helps in improving the overall oxygenation of the body, including the gonads and the perineum. And that's how we can help improve the overall quality of life, including the quality of oocytes and sperms. Trust me when I say this, with all the other supplements, if we make it a point that the oxygenation to the organ can be improved naturally with the help of yoga or exercise or any physical activity, it's just a cherry on the cake. Next slide, please. The third benefit is it just makes having, sex easier. It's exhausting, but it shouldn't be hard. Sex can really be exhausting, but I believe that it shouldn't be hard for anybody. So now if there are times when there's some couples whose lives have become too monotonous and they would want to try out new position with their partners, but if they think that their body won't be able to cooperate, then yoga is the way to prepare. Trust me, yoga helps in improving the flexibility of a body. It helps in taking care of the strength. It also helps in taking care of the stamina. So there's no harm in spicing up the sexual life a little bit by trying something new that would please you and your partners, of course, consensually. But to do that, it shouldn't be a cumbersome task. So to make it easy and to make sure that it is not hard for you, despite it might be a little extra exhausting, burning calories, the benefits of yoga are really going to work wonders. Also, there are reduced symptoms of diseases. There are many medical conditions that can negatively affect sexual function, maybe desire, maybe arousal, maybe orgasm for men and women. Commonly, they are diabetes, because we invariably see that everybody around is running around with abnormal HbA1cs and high blood sugars. Heart diseases, depression, anxiety, hormonal imbalances, so on and so forth. Now we know that yoga cannot cure all of this, but it can definitely help to counteract certain symptoms. As we see that depression, psychological problems are one of the major reasons of sexual dysfunctions and sexual disharmony among couples. Just to calm down the mind, yoga works at the level of the brain. As it releases happy hormones, as it improves the blood supply to the brains and the other organs of our body, it just calms down people. That can also reduce the oxidative stress at the mitochondrial level. Trust me when I say this, yoga definitely has a positive effect on the epigenetics at a great level. And that is how it can help in reverting the oxidative damage that has happened because of the stress and the ROS that are working in a high stressful condition, maybe in a concomitant disease that is existing in one or both the partners who are sexually inclined towards each other. And it can just alleviate those symptoms, it can counteract those symptoms. So when we do yoga, we always say there's something known as athletic heart rate. What do we mean by athletic heart rate? Athletic heart rate is the rate at which the heart of an athlete or somebody who has been working out or has been into proper physical activity for a long amount of time. Now, that athletic heart rate is much lower than the normal heart rate that you or maybe somebody else has it. For that, we will have to train the heart. And to train the heart to run at a rate which is lower than what it's supposed to be, say around 56 or 52 or 60 routinely, which can be a bradycardia and other conditions. We need to train our heart in a way that our resting rate drops down to that much. That is known as athletic heart rate. That is the time which will save us from a lot of cardiovascular catastrophes. So to achieve that athletic heart rate, also yoga works wonders. So trust me, apart from sexual benefits, yoga also has these benefits which can again have a positive impact on the sexual life of a couple. And fifth one is lifting spirits. Yoga just brings lots and lots of energy, better mood, and it's not just because of the hormones that are released. Trust me on this. It's not just only the hormone release that happens, the endorphin release that happens, but it's also because of the conscious choice of self-care that makes us like ourselves more. It's just like a great boost for libido. I'm sure even I think on this, women will agree more. We feel happy when we dress up well, when we go shopping around. I hope I'm right, Dr. Monisha? So these are all the happy things that we do for ourselves, and it just gives us a great libido. Example, if you're dressed up well and you're going for a party and you're looking stunning and there are people who come and compliment you, wow, you're looking gorgeous. It's just a boost for yourself, whether or not you're looking for external validation, but it just makes you feel good about yourself. So that happens when you really are working towards taking care of yourself, when you take conscious choice of choosing yourself, when you've been working around and working for everybody and choosing everybody around you above you. And that is the time when you decide, okay, I want to work on my body, my health, you automatically start feeling happy. Even without that endorphin release factor of the yoga. So that is also again a major benefit of yoga. And when you are in a good mood, you feel the food is good and you feel the sex is also good. So that is one of the another benefit of yoga. Can I have the next slide, please? And it helps in facilitating conception. Now, there are times when couples are trying to conceive, and as I said, it just feels so mechanical that, you know, it feels like a duty to do it. And then they're done, and then they're out, done and dusted, and they're like waiting for them to miss their period. Now, this is where yoga can help. They can make it possible for people to try new positions, and more than new positions, it can just help them to last longer. It also provides a good boost to overall health. As I said, it just improves the blood supply to the gonads. It helps in improving the blood supply to the pelvic muscles, making sex a little better, and helping in facilitating conception. Although too much yoga, trust me, too much excess, everything is bad. So you don't want to land into convincing your patient so much that they go haywire and they go maniac about doing a lot of yoga, because thinking that yoga is the only way. It just facilitates conception. It doesn't really lead to conception, but we just need to explain patients that this is how it can facilitate conception. Can I have the next slide, please? And building connection, whether it be a heterosexual relationship, whether it be a homosexual relationship, whatever it is, it just helps in building connection. Just like sex, yoga is oftentimes better done when someone other than yourself, for most of the part. If we find a partner who loves things that we do as much as we do, it's beautiful to connect. And I also always tell people that sex is not always between two legs. The most exciting organ of the human body is between two ears, and that is where a good sex starts and happens. Rest, everything is just for a couple of minutes and it's done and dusted. So if you are in a relationship and you're building connection, you're feeling connected with somebody, having equal interest, enjoying things that you do, it can just build a lot of connection, and eventually the sexual part can be more exciting, interesting, and satisfying and gratifying as well. So doing yoga before sex to increase arousal, or during sex to make it more fun. There are certain asanas that you can give a trial. There are a couple asanas that I'm going to talk about in the next slides that can be performed during sex just to make it more fun and to feel the intimacy and to feel the closeness towards each other. So the more you do yoga, the more likely you are to be healthy, strong, and really wanting for a good sex. And I assume that's a good thing to do, right? Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Dr. Jadhav, can you hear me?
नीरज भाई सो गए क्या?
नहीं मूव नहीं हो रहा है.
No worries. So meanwhile, we'll talk about the other asanas that we do. And secondly, I would also want everybody to drop in a message if they have done some form of yoga or the other today on the World International Yoga Day. And if you haven't done, as per Dr. Kothari, at least go and do the Shavasana properly before you go to sleep. And I think that'll be great. Yeah, we're right here. So I expect there are many people, or there are 40 people. I expect everybody to at least tell me, have you done a yoga, yes or a no, for today in the chat box. Meanwhile, we're going to talk about best yogasanas for sex. Firstly, we have to be sure about what our body needs. What is the current strength, endurance? Is there any health condition that is existing which is hindering you to do a particular type of yoga before you get into any routine? It's generally very good, but not every kind of yogasan is for everybody. We need to be very careful. For an example, if I have somebody who is having a COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, awesome, Dr. Anita has done yoga today. So if somebody has a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, we wouldn't tell them to do Kapalbhati. So in general, if you ask me which is the safest asana to do and the mandatory asana to do, is pranayam, as Dr. Kothari has also said. Pranayam is just deep breathing. So you hold it Purak, Kumbhak, and Rechak. That means you inhale, you hold for as long as you can, and you exhale. This is known as a nirdosh asana. It doesn't harm anybody, and it's the gem of an asana. It's like the diamond, the Kohinoor diamond of asana, because it's precisely to take the prana in yourself, and that's the most beautiful thing about it. So if you can't do anything, you have any patient and it doesn't strike you what to do, or probably if you don't feel you can do anything, start doing with breathing and breathing out pranayam. Start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, I do it regularly for almost 30, 35 to 40 minutes, and it just calms us down. You can do it with chanting om or whatever you feel like, or just play music and just focus on your breathing. That is one of the best yogasanas for sex and everything else. Next slide, please. So we're going to talk about couple yoga, a couple of them. So this one that you see, if you want to remember how to do it, you can do it solo. You can do it with a couple who you're sexually inclined to. And in case if you are with a friend who you're not sexually inclined to, you can still try them out. It just try them out just as a form of yoga. In case if you don't want to do it with your sexual counterpart, you can take a screenshot of these so that you know how do you do it even when I stop talking about it. So we're going to, this one is a seated cat and cow. You is going to sit cross-legged, जिसको कहते हैं हम पालकी मार के, अलती पलती बोलते हैं, पालकी बोलते हैं. You're just going to sit cross-legged. You're going to face each other. Your knees are going to touch each other, and you're going to look at each other. The first important thing when you are doing a couple yoga, be it with a friend, be it with your sexual partner, the first thing that you have to do is just sit there for 2, 3, 5 seconds, look at each other, breathe in, breathe out, calm your body down, and smile at each other. Get yourself in a good position energetically, and then reach out and take hold of each other's forearms. You're not supposed to go anything above the elbow. You just have to first inhale and just rock yourself back and forth so that you can just create an equilibrium. You are just equal. You don't have to pull each other. You just have to just move in an equilibriatic manner. And then both the partners are going to arch their backs, lifting the heart skyward. So this one that I have shown is a cow position. A cat position is when, so this is a cow position. This is a cow position. So when I say this, first you're going to keep your back like this, and then your back is going to be like this. So if you two couples are sitting like this, it's going to be like this first, and then it's going to be like this first. So you're going to arch your back and you're going to get your back in. That's a cat and a cow position. When you are arching your heart sky back so that your heart is, it's just like this. When your back is like this, you can drop your head back if it feels comfortable. If it doesn't feel comfortable, keep it straight. And then exhaling, both the partners draw their chin to the chest. So when you're like this up in the sky, and then this is when you're inhaling, and then when you're exhaling, you just come like this, okay? Your chin to the chest. You are going to round the back and gaze towards the navel. So that is a cat and a cow position that you're going to do. When you're doing this, you remember that when you're inhaling, your heart is going to be skyward and you're going to look upwards. And when you are exhaling, you are going to look towards your navel. So when you inhale, you look outward, and when you exhale, you look inward. Repeat for several minutes, slowly following the breath, feeling your neck muscles, shoulder muscles, back muscles are flexing and relaxing. The main idea with yoga is you have to be really slow because it's extremely oriented with breath work along with the asana that you do. So when people tell me I did 108 Surya Namaskars in so many minutes, I tell them, please stop counting minutes when you're doing yoga, son. Surya Namaskar is supposed to be done so beautifully, stretching each and every part of your body, for that matter, any asana. When we say yoga, it is a very gradual, slow process because the focus primarily is on breath work. Hence, please don't hurry. Just focus on yourself, focus on your back, focus on your breathing, look at yourself, and just feel your muscles, your neck muscles and shoulder muscles relaxing and contracting, following the breath properly, holding each other's hands closer to each other, doing things together. And this works beautifully when you do it even before the sex. Next slide, please. All right, this is a seated spinal twist. This is a good one if you want to try something flexible. And another a different position of sex in case if you want and you think that your mobility is going to probably not allow, this is something that you're going to try. You firstly are going to sit in the same position, palki marke, with your knees touching each other, and each partner, as you can see, they cross their arms and take hold of the other partner's wrists or hands. Now, if you're flexible enough and you want to go stretch yourself a little bit, hold the hands. If you're not, and if you can hold the wrist, please do that as well. Generally, it's pretty easy to hold the hands because wrists become a little cumbersome even if you're a little extra flexible. And then you have to twist to the other side. So so when you're sitting like this, you just go like this. And then you can go like this. This is how you twist onto each other. One partner twists to the right, pulling the other to twist into the opposite direction. And then you try the contrary motion. So it's just that you're moving together as a couple into doing something beautiful and twisting your bodies at an equilibrium level. Move with the breath and concentrate on establishing a give and take balance in which both of them feel comfortable. Now, that's precisely the reason why I always say that yoga and asana have to be done very, very, very slowly, because you'll just keep pushing each other, and then it just takes away all the advantage, all the mood, all the calmness of the yoga. So that's precisely the reason why. Just tell them, focus on your breathing, and when you go gentle. As much as people indulge into rough sexual activities, there's nothing beautiful than being gentle in life, being gentle while talking, gentle while walking, gentle while complimenting, and gentle while handling your own body and other people's bodies as well. Hence, Yogasana also teaches us how to be gentle to ourselves and to our partners as well. So when you twist, you just have to go super gentle and slow. Ask your partner, is this comfortable? Is this okay? And then go ahead, do certain amount of repetitions in the same manner, slowly, gently, as in much both of you feel comfortable. So this was about the seated spinal twist. Can we have the next slide, please? Bound angle pose. This is also an amazing pose. Nowadays, each one of us, there's so many people who are routinely doing a sitting job, who are salaried, or probably who are standing for a long time. They land up with lower backaches. Especially, trust me, after COVID, there are so many people who are lining up with backaches and pains and breathlessnesses and high heart rates and stuff like that. Secondly, when we see that a majority of them are deficient in vitamin D. So considering their health also, many of them land into backaches. This one asana, the bound angle pose, really helps to ease the back. And when the back is fine, a major part of the sexual activity needs strong back. That's precisely the reason why this pose is really good. It just works wonders. For this, you will have to start by sitting back to back on the floor. So sit back to back on the floor on a comfortable mat. Now, when I say it's important to sit on a comfortable mat on the floor, because if you're sitting on a soft bed, then this asana doesn't really work, because your back, lower back especially, is just focused on balancing your body on the soft bed. That's precisely the reason why this is supposed to be done sitting on the floor, or maybe a chatai or a comfortable mat. One partner bends forward, keeping the back straight. So the partner who's bending forward has his or her back straight. The knees are bent, and the feet, the hands that are grasping the feet with the arms, either they are outside the legs, or it can be kept inside of the legs, whichever makes you feel easy. So when the arms are outside the legs, it becomes a little easy, because then you can keep your legs closer to each other. So whatever is easy for you initially, try the easier one first, because when it's easier one first, you are not really focused on being perfectionist at yogasana. Our main aim of doing all these asanas is to improve the sexual experience. My main aim of sharing all these asanas is not to be a pro and an Olympiad at yogasana, but to make sure that when you do these beautifully and nicely and gently, gradually, it can just ease off your sexual experience and make it a little more pleasurable. Here, the other partner, if you see, is leaning against the back of the one bending forward with the chest expanded. And the arms are spread out, Knees are again bent, feet together and thighs apart. Breathe together in this pose for a while, then switch positions. So I'll repeat again. The other here, the gentleman is sitting like this. His back is straight. He's bending forward. His neck is touching his chest here. Back is straight. It's not arched at all. It just makes sure that when the other partner is stretching in a concave position, it just keeps this position easy for the partner. Otherwise, if the guy goes convex like this, if the guy goes convex like this, let's assume this is the guy and he's going convex. Now, when the female has to just sit on him like this, she'll have to bend a little more. But if the back is straight, this female can just help him stretch a little more. That's precisely the reason why the one who's bending first has to be having his or her back straight. And then your feet has to touch. So this is an important thing. When in both the partners, if we can see, the feet have to touch each other and the legs have to be apart. The one who's bending will hold hands, say, they'll hold their feet with the hands, and the one who's bending on the other partner is going to release their hands. So they're going to be like in a sitting shavasana position, just releasing their entire weight on the body, stretching their back, chest towards the sky, face towards the sky, and just feel your entire anterior abdominal muscles stretching. The piche wala will feel the back releasing and the neck muscle releasing, and just focus on breathing in and out together. Stay in this position for a couple of minutes or for a couple of seconds, just so that when you realize that both of your breath work is going equal in inhalation and exhalation and you feel in harmony, that is the time when you switch positions. So this is one of the most beautiful pose to keep yourself just relaxed and into each other in harmony. Can we have the next slide, please? This is a yabyum. This is actually a non-sexual, though this looks like a beautiful sexual position to be in, it is, honestly speaking, a non-sexual position, but it's pretty sensuous. It's a variant of a posture oftentimes seen in tantric art and iconography. The name yabyum literally means mother, father in Tibetan. The larger, stronger partner sits cross-legged on the floor. It's just self-explanatory, but I would still just explain it to you. Palki maar ke baith jaiye, comfortable mat mein baithiye. This can be done on a floor, on a soft bed, or whatever makes you feel comfortable. If this partner can get into full lotus posture with both feet resting on the knees, when we say lotus posture, it's like a proper palki. हिंदी में पालकी बोलते हैं, अलती पलती बोलते हैं आई थिंक मराठी में, અને પલાઠી બોલते हैं गुजराती में, पलाठी वाली ने बेसी जाओ. So that is known as the lotus posture. With both feet resting on the knees, it will be providing the strongest foundation. So for here, invariably the male counterpart is considered to be physically stronger than the female counterpart. That's precisely the reason why invariably the male sits in the palkika position, and then the other partner sits on top of the first partner's thighs with her or his ankles, of course, crossed behind the back of the seated partner. Both the partners should keep their spine straight with their foreheads, which is the location of the third eye, touching each other. And then just close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out. Either you can keep your eyes closed or you can just look at each other, breathe in, breathe out, till the time, keep doing this till the time you feel that both of you are breathing in at the same time, holding for the same time, and breathing out for the same time. Now this is, though this is a beautiful non-sexual position, but considering its sensuality, and when a couple goes into equal breathing and breathing out harmony, especially, this is all about, this becomes sensuous because the only thing it focuses on is breathing harmony. And when a couple breathes together, it can eventually lead to a beautiful sexual experience in this position itself. So this is one position that I recommend my patients who come to me for infertility. This is one non-sexual position that just goes and culminates into a beautiful sexual experience for my infertility couples, especially who think that sex is a duty and it's very cumbersome and God, we'll have to do it. So I always tell them that start doing by this, and invariably, trust me, they end up doing it in this position only, and we don't really have to do anything else. So it's all breath work that does the wonders in this position. So I really want you to take a screenshot of this, try it out with all your patients and maybe for your own self as well. And let me know in my personal messages, how did you feel or how did your patient give you feedback on this? Next slide, please. Okay, this is one boat pose that we keep seeing everybody doing now, non-sexually. People do it with their gym partners and with their yoga partners. You just have to start by facing one another. Trust me, as easy as this looks, it's not easy, especially if you have to keep your knees locked or knees straight. You just have to start by facing one another in a normal seated position. And then each partner grasps the other partner's wrists. Ideally, the wrists are to be grasped. You can grasp hands also in this, but here, to make sure that you have a proper support and proper position and proper form, it's wise to grasp the wrists, because invariably you're going to be pulling against each other. That's precisely why wrists are more preferable than hands or fingers here. With knees bent, each partner presses the soles of his or her feet against the sole of their partner's feet, and then both of them try to straighten their legs and move them upward. If it's working right, two should form the shape of a W. Invariably, if there is a height difference, then this doesn't work as perfect as this looks. So I tell my patients that this is just to make sure that your leg muscles are stretched, your hamstrings, your hands, your neck, and your back is stretched. This position of yoga does not invariably culminate into a sexual intercourse, but it's a beautiful preparatory asana for a very good, non-exhausting and experimental sexual experience. So this is again a boat pose for two, which is working wonders in so many of my patients who complain of exhaustion, things like that, to increase their stamina, endurability, and stretchability. This one is working wonders for all of them. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, after all of this, much of sex depends on flexibility and ease of movement. Both have, they are both of them, your flexibility, how beautifully and easily you move, how beautifully your body is flowing, how nicely and comfortable and aligned together in harmony is a couple while breathing with each other. All of these are huge benefits of yoga training. Increased balance is also valuable. Like, as we say that India is the house, it has gotten Kama Sutra in the world. So there are so many various positions mentioned there, and I'm sure all of us are well versed, and even the kids today are well versed with all the different positions, which would make it a pleasurable experience for both the sexual partners. It is important that you know how to balance, how to nurture each other, how to take care of what each of you likes or what the other person likes, and also to last long. It shouldn't happen that one of them is wanting a lot and the other person is already exhausted. As all of us know, even medically, women orgasm after a longer time than men orgasm. So invariably, what couples come to us with complaints are that females don't experience orgasm because a male gets an orgasm fast and he's just done and dusted. So if one person out of the couple is exhausted and the other is not exhausted, it can just lead to a sexual disharmony, which can create imbalance in the personal relationships, in the non-sexual part of your life that the couple has. So to increase the endurance, strength, flexibility, ease of movements, and your breathing and your heart and your knee problems and your back problems, yoga really works wonders in making sure that the sex becomes easier, there are deeper orgasms, you can last longer, and you can even make the sex last longer, not just the erectile function. Yoga with an experienced instructor can really help a lot. But even if you don't have an instructor, there are so many videos. There are simple yoga poses that I've just shown you. I'm sure many of you must have taken screenshots. If you haven't, please let me know. I'll feel free to share them with you again on your WhatsApp chat. So there are so many simple poses that you can try. The downward facing dog and tree pose, downward facing dog. As we see, if you see that this guy here in this image, he's doing a downward facing dog. That's beautiful for your hamstring stretch, for your back stretch, for your hand stretch. And while the tree pose, when everybody knows the tree pose, right? Ek pair pe khade hoke, just stretch your body. You just have to stretch your body towards the sky. So it is also very good for balance. It just find a workout that you feel good about, you feel it's easy to do initially, and you would be proud of yourself after doing it. So that's all what yoga is about. It's not only about flexibility of your body, it's also about flexibility of your mind. How flexible are you to try different asanas to make sure that your overall life becomes better, your overall health becomes better. So trust me when I say this, that if your mind isn't flexible, your body will definitely not be flexible enough. Can we have the next slide, please? So I would just want to share my video that Dr. Neeraj would be playing in the next couple of seconds. Once he starts resharing the screen, Dr. Neeraj, could you just please share the videos where I'm just trying a flexibility yogasan. I keep doing many asanas like Prasarit Padottanasana and things like that. And it's wise to stretch our bodies at whatever age we are, at whatever time we are. And when I say that it's all in the mind, a slide before, yeah, this one, can we just play this? Is it possible for you to play? Yeah, just a tiny little video of me. I love to enjoy it in the nature, so I calm down myself. I breathe easy, a little bit of gratitude to the sky, and lie down, breathe easy for a couple of seconds. ये थोड़ा fast forward दिखाया जा रहा है आपको. Stretch your body, knees to the chest, touch your feet, and then come down and bend yourself and thank you, and then happy knee after finishing it off. So just flexibility that we can do in whichever form you can do. I do it because I really enjoy what I do, and I think that it has to be a part of our lifestyle up until yoga or any form of exercise or anything that you do is not a part of our lifestyle, we really wouldn't enjoy it. And I always say that consistency is the key. So if the bottom line is, if you think of adding yoga to your life, trust me, just it'll be a great experience. It'll be a lot of pleasure, a lot of fun. Just sweat it for better sex. But ultimately, as I said, it's not your fitness level that will make you good in bed. It's the communication skills. Even if you are the most fit, you are the fittest, most flexible, strongest person, but if you can't use your voice to communicate with your partner, the sex isn't going to be any good. So this is one thing that I always tell my patients, that communication is the key. Talk to each other what you like to be done to yourself, how would you like to be treated, how would you like to be touched, how. And when you do yogasan, make it a point that you don't be the athletic one out of it. You have to do yoga. Even when you're doing couple asanas, you have to do what is comfortable for both of you slowly. So this one is the Prasarit Padottanasana. It's, trust me, it's very difficult. It just looks so simple, but it's a very difficult one. And once you're doing something in harmony together, which is comfortable for both of you, I think that works wonders. And that is all about. So as I said, yoga is not about touching your toes. It's about what you learn on the way down. And you can just follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I keep posting stories about exercises. And in case if you have any query, please drop in the chat box. And more than that, I would like to thank each one of you for being so patient and listening to all that I could share with you. But thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
We will be sharing the video recording, so don't worry if you have missed anything. You will be able to see all the webinar.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Neeraj sir, please, an expert opinion from your side.
Yeah, it's always pleasure to hear from the Sargam Soni. He is a fantastic trainer in the yoga, and really you have done wonderful job to this difficult topic, how yoga is cool in the sexual health. So really, really wonderful. I am sure that it will help so many people around who are watching this world. And after we share the video to the all of you, you can circulate it, and it will further benefit so many people further. So thank you, Sargam, Soni.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Ajay sir, your comment, please, sir.
No, it was very nice, and as Neeraj sir said, it is very always pleasurable to listen Sargam, and not only listen, see also her doing the Sarvangasana, and that was very nice one. So Sargam is always great. I have participated in her yoga session also. She
Thank you.
deliberately said, "Sir, you need to come tomorrow morning," and that was very nice session. So
Thank you.
So
thank you.
you want yoga session for further all this asan by live? Yes, and you
No,
want
no,
then we
I
can
will
do
give
that.
this recording to my wife now and ask her and go through that.
But
Yes,
then
I
please
will.
make it a point to send me a feedback. How did the asanas work?
Yeah, great. Yes, always. Thank you, Sargam.
Thank you so
Good
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay bhai.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sargam
And
Soni, ma'am.
convey my thank you to Monisha Singh also. She's here since the
Thank
last moment. And
sir,
where
sir.
is Madan Rao, our good friend?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
He
Madan and
has some
Monisha, you are doing a
emergency.
very great
So,
job.
yeah.
So
Thank
you
you
are
so
doing.
much, Ajay sir. Thank you so much, Neeraj sir. Apurba sir, even your comments would be really wonderful to Sargam ma'am and to the whole session. It was really wonderful. Definitely, we have no words for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Dr. Sargam Soni, ma'am. It's really wonderful. And definitely this all webinar is a mastermind behind this is Neeraj sir. And thank you so much, sir, for really bring out. And I think it's really helpful to all of us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think if there any question from any of the delegates and participants, they can put in the chat box if you have any, or
Apurva,
else
I
we
can
can.
see Dr. Chandani also in
no,
the.
Chandni, are you there?
Chandani, are you there? She can add some comment to Sargam's experiments, as she's a expert in this field. No, I think she's not
No,
there.
she is
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So no issue. And
So,
so we will go for the vote of thanks. So Dr.
Rahul there.
Dr. Monisha, yeah.
yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. First of all, to the Sargam ma'am, you have been wonderful teacher right now, and I think for the future we can have more such sessions. You
Sure.
not only discussed in brief, in details about like how the sex, sex and yoga works, but what is the beneficial of yoga overall to the generalized health and to the couple. And that is something that we all require, not just for the patients, but for the doctors as well. So thank you so much, ma'am. To conclude from the vote of thanks, we first of all would like to thank you to the Sexual Health Committee, definitely, especially one of the ICOG points that we have just received over this topic. Thank you so much to the ICOG faculty. To the FOGSI office bearers, Jaideep sir, Dr. Madhuri ma'am, Ajay Mane sir, who was there for till the end to listen to this wonderful session. Dr. Apurba sir, thank you so much, the chairperson and sexual health and committee. Words fall short for Dr. Prakash sir, who actually explained in great depth and who gave the interest for such a amazing topic that is there. Yoga itself is such a wonderful topic, and Prakash sir literally put the Prakash in this particular topic. So thank you so much, sir. If you're there, we are honored to have you here. To the guest of honor, Dr. Neerja Batla ma'am, Dr. Sharmila ma'am, thank you so much for joining here and for blessing us and our definitely the whole session as such. To Dr. Neeraj sir, thank you for always guiding us. It was wonderful session, and you always tell us in brief exactly what to do, what to do, not to do. So thank you so much, and you are really a blessing for the Sexual Health Committee for guiding the whole committee as such. To my co-convener, Dr. Madan sir, thank you so much for being such a delightful person, and we love you for this session. We would like to conclude it by saying that it is one of the sessions that I would definitely like to share with all my patients, with all my colleagues. I have definitely shared it with all the doctors of at least my cities, and I would definitely request everybody to at least share the recordings amongst those who have missed such important session. It is not just the sex and yoga is not just for the sexual benefit, but for the mental benefit as such. And God forbid, every doctor needs it. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. To you as such, you are wonderful, wonderful delegates who took time to join this session. You guys are wonderful, and so many people actually joined and stayed behind for such a wonderful topic. So I'm really glad that people can stay behind, and the recordings definitely. I'm getting the messages actually to share the recordings. They just missed it. So I'll be blessed to share this message as such. Thank you, Neeraj sir. Thank you, Apurba sir. Thank you, Ajay sir, Dr. Sargam ma'am. You were wonderful.
नहीं, I feel like अभी ना जाओ छोड़ के दिल अभी भरा नहीं.
True.
Stop the recording. Can we
Absolutely,
stop the
sir.
recording?
Yeah.
So I would like, in fact, it's a suggestion in case if we can keep this talk in any of the conferences, I think it's